Namaste, what's going on, beautiful humans? So, today I've got a few products that I'm going to do just some first impression videos on. As you can see, basically it's two different pouches, garden pouches, and two different pair of shears, garden shears, yeah? So anyway, we didn't have a good pair of shears here in the greenhouse. I just got some very small pruners I've been using on leaves, and then I had some old stuff and just very outdated and rusty and shouldn't be used in here. So it was time to get some new stuff, and my wife decided to get us both a pair. And of course, the way she is and the way she loves me so much, she got two different things so that I could do kind of product reviews on them. So today, I'm going to open things up and just kind of go an overview of them and give you my first impressions. Yeah, let's get to it. Basically, this is how they came. These, except these were folded up, about like so, rolled into a nice little package like so, and had a plastic sleeve on it. Both of them, same thing. The only thing difference when I come out of the pouch is this one has a little tag on it that tells us a little bit about it. Garden tool waist bag belt, tape holder, strap, work glove clip. 1 year guarantee. I believe they did, that one also has a guarantee with it, a 1 year guarantee as well. Yeah, all right. So there we go on that. That's the Kun brand, Kun Gear. Yeah, and we'll give that a try. And then this one, I kind of like the felt a little better. This is more like this feels more like a canvas material that you would have on a tent or something. Belt links are about the same. I did notice that. This one doesn't have any kind of little doohickey to tell you anything about it, but they are just about the same size. And I think they'll serve a purpose pretty much the same. It's probably just a matter of preference as to what type of material or, color scheme maybe that might blend in a little differently. Both of those bags, let's see, this Kun bag was $19. I think that's a $19 bag. The other bag, the green belt, I think was $22. And that's made by a company called Honolulu. Yeah. And then you can see a packaging here on the Haus Garten. Haus Garten, I guess, but it looks Haus Garten is what it would seem to be pronounced, but everybody calls it Haus Garten, so I'm going to do the same. Haus Garten, Classic Pros, just a good-looking pruner. So hopefully it'll come into lasting us a long time. I think both of these pruners actually are pretty much the same, other than just, little different features on each one. So I'll go through them and see which one I like, which one's more comfortable. Yeah, and then both of them are packaged nice, I guess. This is the way they come. Obviously, I haven't opened them up yet. Now, I will say also, the price on these bad boys, I think they were just $2 apart. $3 apart, I think. Yeah, about $2.95 or something is the difference between these two. With the Haus Garten being the more expensive of the two, and they both run right around $30. This one I think was $29. This one I believe is $27. Yeah. So, all right, gang. Well, there we go. Let's see what they do, huh? So you might ask, what do I need pruners for? Well, I do a little bit of pruning. I've got some berry bushes in and out of the greenhouse. We've got, oh my gosh, we just planted 12 elderberry bushes outside we got to tend to. And we got this here, that's a raspberry bush in here. We've got the wisteria vine. We've got kiwi vines in here. I've got grapevines in here. All of those things got to be tended to. We've got some flowers, of course, that get overgrown. We have to trim up. I've got tomatoes that constantly need trimmed back. I've got tomatoes growing up over here on this trellis. So they've got to be cut back all the time. Yeah. And of course, these barrage flowers, they get pretty large. And when they get a little out of hand, I got to trim them back as well. Little canvas plants in here sprinkled about. We've got strawberries that need trimmed every now and then. So there's plenty of stuff in here that's got to be trimmed, and plus all the stuff outside that we do. So yeah, I need some good shears, and it's just good practice to have something newer and clean, especially in this greenhouse, because it's so susceptible to disease, and when something gets in here, it's everywhere, you know. So yeah, here we are. Let's do some comparison. Yeah, let's see what these things can do. All right, gang. So this is what the nylon bag looks like. Yeah, Kun. So yeah, got the pliers in here. Of course, everything's stiff when it's new. And then I found this strap actually be pretty handy, because I like to have this when I'm doing my tomatoes. Always need a little something to tie some tomatoes back. So the fact that I can just put them on there and I don't have to attach this over there separate, I can have it right there with me, and then if I'm going over to the beans or wherever else I may be. It's got a little clip for my keys, which I'm very fond of. I always have keys clipped to my pant legs, usually on my belt loop. So it already came with a key clip, but I have one. So anyway, that works out well. Everything seems to fit good. It's a Tops, yeah. Not a whole lot to go on about, but we'll give it a shot. All right, gang. So what you're going to see here is I've got still the same amount of stuff on me, although I went back to my belt loop for the keys, because there's not a ring on here for a key ring. The gloves, there was nothing special for gloves, yeah. So gloves are in the pocket. Also, my tie string there is also in the pocket, and then of course I got again the same pockets for the tools in the front, and there is some more pockets here if you wanted to leave some more things in here, scissors or whatever. And then these, I don't know what I would use these for. Maybe if I had a spade, you know, small spade to dig with or something, I might pack that in there, but it would be pretty cumbersome. For me, I like this cloth, and I'm kind of an earth tone kind of guy, so the green and the brown actually is more my gig. But nevertheless, it's going to serve the same purpose as the other one. I think it's just a matter of what you'd rather have. Again, it's a bag, so not a whole lot to go on about, yeah? All right, let's check out these shears. All right, what's going on, gang? Hang on, let me just, oh my gosh, look at you. You're all crooked. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, we can't have you all crooked. We gotta have you straightened up. So let me just talk to you here real quick about these. They both cut the same. They cut excellent. Yeah, I'll just throw you a few shots there of cutting some stuff. But as far as the cutting goes, they cut the same. Yeah, and I imagine they will for quite some time. Both the blades are replaceable on both products, so it's something you can replace in the long run if you need to. What I've noticed on these, okay, so let's start with this Corona brand. Absolutely love the look of it. It's very beefy. It seems very old school, very tough feeling. It's the heavier of the two. So looks-wise, feel-wise, it feels just girthy and very tough feeling, yeah? The lock on this one is just a bit more cumbersome than, it takes some effort to get it to latch and close, yeah? Not that that's a big deal. It's obviously very tough, and thank goodness, because I just dropped them. To me, I would call this an old school kind of style. So everything about that, I like. What I've noticed I didn't care much for, now both of these cutters come with a wire cutter. If you need to cut a small piece of wire, you can see there's a groove. Let me put that up to the camera there, so you can see that groove carved out right there. So you can actually place a little piece of wire in there in that spot and cut your wire, and it doesn't affect your blade the rest of the way. Both sets have that option. Now what I found on this, I'm fair sized guy. I'm about 5'9½". I've got fairly good sized hands, not small but not huge. What I'm finding for me, these open a little wider than what my hand is comfortable opening to get this mouth to open completely up, yeah? So, like I said, I got a fairly good sized hand, so I can imagine if I was a smaller hand person, be it man or woman, that this would be a little more cumbersome than it is for me, I'm assuming. And then and you can see right here that if I wanted to, and this is open to where the spring stops. You see my thumb is the only thing holding it up right now, so I'm not putting anything on it. So it doesn't quite open all the way to get to that, so you have to sort of even push it further away to get to the wire part. So that's, it's not a deal breaker by any means whatsoever, but that's what I've noticed about this set. Now, the Haus Garten, yeah, very simple set. It doesn't seem girthy and meaty like the other one. It's more new school kind of high-tech sort of material, kind of, like an aluminum alloy covered in a, dipped rubber or plastic, which the other ones are dipped too, but this is a little more so. I think this is actually titanium on the blade. I should have read that on the box, and I think it is. Again, replaceable blade. To get to again, this has the wire cutter, and you can see my hand. I can actually have my fingers folded over this a little bit, yeah? And not just sitting open like this. But I can actually have my hands, and this is completely open right now. Open plenty wide enough to get to the wire, yeah? I have to come down to here. So this actually fits my hand much better. And what I'm going to find out very quickly is it's probably going to fit my wife's hands even more, better, or better. So, yeah, so what's going to happen is she's going to end up with this pair and I'm going to end up with the other pair. And either one of them is going to be just fine. But I think, honestly, if I was to give my opinion, I like the Haus Garten a little better. I think it would be more versatile for more variety of folks. The other ones, really, you got to have a pretty good set of hands to be comfortable in that Corona. The other thing I like about this one, let me tell you this real quick, is I showed you the mechanism on the other one where you kind of got to flip the little thing down. On this one, it's just the thumb. So you have this right here where you push, yeah, and that closes it, locks it up. So quite simple. And the other thing I noticed about this lock is, if you wanted to, it's sort of a two-stage. You can put it to, if you can see that right there, you have two. That one's all the way open, so it bypasses, right? And then if you just lock that right there, now what that does is allows you to not open all the way up. So if you're just trimming small stuff, you don't have to deal with this coming completely open every time. And you won't get it in a pinch. You won't get in there and clip something a little bigger than what you might have wanted to clip to begin with. So it's kind of a nice little feature. I think it's neat. I like it. Nice little added bonus. So I think, in my opinion, no professional here whatsoever, but I got a few plants and I do a little gardening. And I think if I was to, knowing what I know now, and I was going to go buy a pair of these, I believe I would go with these myself. They were actually the ones that were a little more expensive, and I think I kind of see why. The other ones are, like I said, they're meaty, girthy. I don't think they'll, they're going to last. It's not something that's, going to go bad anytime soon. But, yeah, I think out of these two, if I was going to go buy one or the other, it would be this one. Yeah, it's just, I think, a little bit more practical for more people. Put it that way. That's my opinion, gang. All right, let's love and respect. I'll see you on the next one.